said, I think I'm teaching. Why? She went, I've managed to talk with Dom and we're going to film a scene with Matt Willis if you're free.
It's like from a production, and when someone subscribes or something like that, or a donation, it sets it off. And then in the background. I was going to say, was it all that night?
No, it wasn't on opening night. No, they came on.
That's my boy.
It even says the Hobbit pub in Southampton.
Oh, you didn't win it then?
No, I did. I had to win it.
You had to win it?
Yeah, I had to drink 12 cocktails. Yeah, so... Hello and welcome back to RNB Fusion Podcast with your co-host Ross and my fellow co-host...
Benni Boi.
As Joey says in Friends, we're back, baby.
Yes, we are. It's been a long time.
It has. It's been 2 years. We're currently sat in my room and I look like I've been on the sun because I'm sweating that much. But yeah, honestly, 2 years is too long. I listened to the podcast the other day.
Yeah.
Right? And we're listening about, the 2020 podcast. And there's me going, we'll have season 2. Keep your eye on it soon. Didn't realise that 2 years later, we'd be sat here thinking, what are we doing? So we've got such a great season coming up for you guys. We've got loads of topics which we're excited to talk about. We've got guests potentially. But this first episode what is it, Ben?
It's a good catch-up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good catch-up from 2021 to 2023. So where do we go from here, Ben? So we're going from 2021 when we last recorded an episode, which was what? Late March, early April we kind of recorded then?
Yeah.
We recorded that episode then, the 2020, where we were kind of talking about how great it was, how fun it was. And 2021 came around and finished before I even realised. Like, what happened to you in 2021? Can you actually remember?
It's just all a blur, really. It was a busy one. I think. First of all, we were just kept talking and we're like, we're going to record this pod, and then obviously I was doing some music bits and bobs. Then you gave me some stuff with your acting, and you had your jobs coming up, so it sort of got delayed, and then it's. That could also we'll have a catch up, we'll do it, blah blah blah, and now it's back on. Look, we've got some great graphics from Firework Films.
I know they've done well. They have done really well, and
also as well, you've done a lot of work towards all this and doing the editing. So we've got a nice crisp audio version of season 1.
I know. That was. It's quite weird looking at hearing and looking at season 1 now, because obviously, if you're looking at it for the first time, you will notice that we've got a brand new logo. We're sounding clean, and it says that everything was published on the 20th of August this year, which is like no,
no. Because we've all tweaked everything. We're hoping to push the brand a little bit, as they say. Be more professional. And it feels like it's a new beginning with this new chapter. Yeah,
it does. It does feel like it's a brand new beginning. I think as well the fact that we're on video, because last time we were just audio based.
Yes.
Because we're recording over Discord, and I think because of COVID at that point we weren't even allowed in the same vicinity, let alone the same room.
No.
So it's really nice to see you in person. Because 2021, I think. What happened for me during that point was I had a wedding. Not me. I didn't get married. Don't worry. No. I'm still single and free, ladies.
Hey.
But so I went to a friend's wedding, which was amazing. I got to do a Blues Brothers performance, which has always been a long life dream of mine. So I got to pretend to be Jake Blues, which was it was really fun. Good fun for that. Obviously, it was a wonderful wedding as well. That was a stunning day. It was really nice. It was really enjoyable. And it was kind of the first big event I kind of had after COVID. I don't know about you. I think there was an apprehension about it all. So, going and seeing all these people for the first ever time after being locked away, there was a sense of nervousness about it. And But when I got to see people and you got to hug them for the first time properly.
Yeah, like physical and like being in the same room like this. I mean, you know,
I know.
Doing this, it feels a little bit weird, but, you know, it's good. I think there was a lot of nerves. I mean, for me, I did wear a face mask for a bit longer just because I wanted to. And then obviously now just I don't wear it now. So it's one of those things. It's whenever you, I think for everyone else just a little bit had their own preference. If you know, when they wanted to, you know, mix them and that. And there's some people who don't. Some of my friends still want to stay a bit safer and they don't really mix as much. But again, on the plus side, you know, we started doing a lot more stuff together. Yeah,
we did actually. To be fair, we kind of doing a lot more DJing stuff for you and kind of helping out. Because what was the first gig we did after COVID? Can you remember? Because the one that comes to memory for me, the one in 2021, was because the last one we did before COVID, it was somebody I knew, and it was at the rugby club before it got knocked down. Was it the rugby club? The new one, was that the first one we did? You know, when they rebuilt it and we were at a last minute gig.
I remember the last minute gig. I think it was one before that.
Okay.
I think it was the one, wasn't it? The one at the golf club.
Yes, there was two at the golf club. Yes.
Yeah, there was Tom's, and then there was the one where the client wanted just all dance music.
Yes. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, because I remember doing one of them, and that guy was saying, "Oh, how good is it that we're all out of lockdown?" And we were like talking about it for ages. Because then I did that one with you. Then the next one we did was that the one where the woman was on the floor. What, you know, remember when we were packing away and there was an old woman who was on the floor and we had to wait for an ambulance? Do you remember?
Yeah. That was the no. I think that was the first one.
Was it the first one?
Yeah, that was the first one because because
that was an interesting night. That was.
Yeah, I remember we packed up. We were literally you reversed out ready to go, and there was a lady. Unfortunately, she fell over, and
it was bad, but it was.
Yeah, then we just we had to wait a while because obviously we got blocked in. But yeah, that was the first one. Second one was that lady with you with the arm, and she just grabbed your arm. I remember that because I was just concentrating, like putting the next track on. All of a sudden, I was getting some tapping from Ross, and all of a sudden it was getting a bit like faster, and then I heard like Ben, and then he was like help, and then. I just saw this lady latching onto you.
Oh, it was so bad. Like it was a fact that I was with you because I think that was the one before I went away with the guys on the caravan in holiday.
Yes, it was just before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was literally the night before because on that Monday I was going away. So yeah, it was a Sunday night and I remember coming back after having the buffet, which the buffet was top notch. Again, like I said in that weddings podcast, I judge a wedding and any gig on a buffet, and the chips were nice, they were warm. The food overall at the golf club was nice. Didn't expect anything less. But the so as I was getting ready to do tracks, and when you like I do with all the requests. Yeah. So it was the fact that I was literally playing the request, and this woman asked us, said, "Oh, can you play this song?" And we played it, and she wasn't in the room, so we kind of like looked at each other and went, "Right then, she's had the song, that's it." Anyway, we come back in. And this woman, she was definitely like middle-aged. And I remember she put her arm on my forearm and I sat there and I was like going,
what do I do?
Ben, help me. And she was like, can you play this song? I was like, oh, we've just played it. Can you play it again? I wasn't here. And I'm like, help me, Ben. No. Ben, help me.
I think what made it worse was obviously we explained that we've already played it. Then, but I think it's what happened next when they came back. Well, when she came back with someone else, like and it was sort of like trying to get
like a fella or something like. That was scary. Yeah. I've never felt fear like that at that point.
So I had to just look. I just had to look at the fella like straight in the eyes. Like I played it, so I'll play again. But I can guarantee you. And I kept saying this to you. It's going to clear the floor, and we're not going to get it back. And I spoke to the client who. It was his birthday, and I said, "Look, I know you said you wanted this type of music. I know we need to cater for everyone, but do you want me to play it? And he was like, yeah, play it. Boom. And then straight after that, clear the floor, and we couldn't really get it back.
Yeah. The floor was cleared. That was done. And do you know, from your point of view, like I know for me as just, helping out, whenever I see that happen, I literally sit down and think, we've literally worked so hard to build that. Like the other night when we were at that gig, and you play one song that somebody's requesting, it kills the floor. They're dancing away, enjoying life, no cares in the world. But you're sat there thinking, I've worked 3.5 hours just to get even the slightest inkling that people want to get on the dance floor. And there's you coming in with your crap song. Like, it's got to a point now. I remember, I think it was a gig before lockdown happened. It was at it's like a Jamaican club. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Do you remember that woman who asked the song and I didn't know what it was?
Yes, it was at the Caribbean club.
Well, I know we said we're doing a catch-up over the last 2 years, but that's just kind of reminded me of that moment where she asked me to play this song and I said, I don't know it, because I'm really bad with names of songs. I'm better with hearing it, obviously, because that's kind of how music works. But I listened to it on the phone and I remember saying to you, going, don't, mate, this is gonna. And then she was like, can you play it? Because it was her birthday. I mean, you kind of have to, I'm not telling people who, when it's your birthday, go, don't recommend songs, because that's the point. But she got this song that it was a proper, like, everyone was on the dance floor, we were playing tracks that everyone knew. And then she brought in this like dance track that was, honest to God, I felt like I was on ecstasy at Ibiza at one point. Because like, like that. And I'm thinking,
it was
calm down. But that gig with that woman who grabbed my arm was scary. I mean, do you know what's really weird thinking on that gig? That was the time when Estelle had Jazz, my car.
Yes,
Honda.
That was a great car there.
Oh no, I missed that.
Yeah, how much stuff could like fit in there, like DJ equipment wise.
Oh, do you know what?
Fold the seats back.
That thing was like a TARDIS.
Yeah, it was.
Honest to God, I think if I was to black out those windows, that'd be a van.
Yeah, I mean, like we could get the facade in, what's huge anyway.
Oh yeah,
and like all the lights, and then I just had the speakers.
Yeah, I was about to say we managed to get loads in there. Like we got all the kind of bits that we needed. And yeah, I've got to admit, don't get me wrong, I love my new car.
Oh, yeah.
For a year now? But yeah, I do miss that Jazz because of the room. I do miss the fact of, the one thing I do miss about that car is in the seats, in the back especially, you used to be able to fold them down, like, when you put everything down like that. But when you fold them up, the seat would come up with it, so you wouldn't have like the seats like flat down, but you would have more space in the footwells in the back.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which was really helpful, especially for those times like when you took most of the gear, or we're doing like a plug and play one.
Yeah.
Where you go, Ross, I only need to take my decks and I only need to take these cables. I'm like, yeah, all right, we can just bang it in there. Or but yeah, it's crazy to think that was 2021. I mean, then I did the Christmas show.
Yeah,
in 2021.
Yeah, you did.
Do you know what? That show was really good for me because I did that show and then out of nowhere, I was in Tesco's, right? I just finished like Halloween sort of period, doing some other bits and bobs. And I did a Halloween thing for Darley Dance where I was a ringmaster at a hot tub store, which was...
You didn't tell me about that one.
I did not? Okay, so...
No, you didn't tell me about that
one. So for Darley Dance at Halloween, it was the first time I hadn't worked at the farm in Burton, right? So I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? I need money. I'm a performer and I got no money. Well, I got money from teaching, but I was like, I need to do a gig. I'm bored. So anyway, Abby turned to me and she said, Ross, we're doing a Halloween thing. And I was like, oh yeah, great. What you doing? And she was like, right, we're going to do like a circus ringmaster thing. That was who I was going to be, a ringmaster. And I was like, oh, wicked, where? A hot tub showroom. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, a hot tub showroom. And I was like, right. She said, yeah, it's one of the sponsors for Christmas. I was like, oh, well, can't really say no at this point, can I? I mean, to be honest though, it was a really good gig. So they said, yeah, Ross, you're going to be this ringmaster. And we all had to learn the Thriller dance, the Michael Jackson one. Now, I remember learning that in year 8 PE. I'd learned that once in year 8 PE. But I didn't remember it. I just remember the neck twitches. And I remember like nearly cricking my neck every time. So yeah, we were filming like the rehearsals. And when we went to rehearsals, obviously at this point, we still were masking up. I tell you now, I do not miss the masks when I'm doing dance rehearsals or doing any form of rehearsals because it is rancid. you're sitting there and you're breathing in cloth.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like water torture at that point. Like, you know, when you see them in films and they've got a cloth over the face and somebody's pouring water.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. I was going, and I was like that every time I'm dancing. But yeah, so we performed this Thriller dance. Like, I think it must have been about 9 or 10 times. And I was in character for the whole night. It was about a 4-hour stint I was doing. And I stayed in character for this like ringleader. And somehow, I don't know what happened, something just snapped in my head where I became this ringleader who was really like a clown, like really overly like, ha ha, like this. And I stayed in character all night and I was walking around scaring all the other customers, scaring all these people. And I was just trying to be friendly and having a joke. And I didn't come out of character once. And I remember Abby saying to me, she was like, do you know what? Fair play to him. He's not got out of character. And then there was people I knew who were there. So you had like Sarah's mum, you had a few friends of Abby's. And they're like, oh, Ross, how you doing? And I'm still in character going, yeah, I'm enjoying it. How about you? And they're like, no, I'm talking to Ross. I'm like, he's not home right now. And I couldn't get out of character. I was stuck. It was mad. Like, I was there and I was just in character walking around. I was scaring the rest of the cast members.
Well, I'm sure you were.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't have much makeup on at that point. I'm joking. But no, so I'd learned from doing scare acting to walk really silently. So and this is a good tip for anyone, if you want to scare somebody, walk heel to toe. Because if you do that, so if you walk like heel to toe like this, you create a softer impact on the floor. So you don't have that sort of when you're walking. And if you do that, you can creep up behind people without them realizing. And that's what I kept doing all night. I'd get really close because I'd had years of training at this point doing it. And yeah, I was scaring like Georgia all night, Ellie. I was getting everyone. I was getting Abby. But Georgia, I think the thing is when you do a Halloween thing for so long, you discover what the smell of fear is like. And when I say smell of fear, I don't mean like somebody's farted or something like that. I mean, it's in like, you can just get this sense of fear and you prey on it. And it's really bizarre, but you see these people like fear. So a bit like, imagine if it was you and you were getting scared quite often. If I could see that you were getting scared and I could sense what was causing that fear, I would then latch onto that and keep doing it.
You did it, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, did that in a hot tub showroom. Then we did the Christmas show, which at this point, so the first one we'd done in lockdown. So I'd done that one, which I talked about in 2020, how I did that show and we did in lockdown. The second one, we were doing it online again. But the reason we were doing it online is because there was still that uncertainty whether we could go live or not.
Yeah, it was like on off, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was, you could do this, but you couldn't do that. You could have 6 people over at Christmas or you could have more. There was this whole rule of 6. There was everything like that. It was all over the shop. And
it didn't help as well. They kept changing it. So one week it was all right.
Yeah.
And then the next we were like, no, you can't have anyone.
Yeah, that was it. Like it was, and I understand at the time, you know, nobody knew what was going on. This was a brand new virus and I understand that it was up and down. But I mean, when we came out, so this was the point where lockdown had officially ended. Do you remember that day in June? It was like the 14th of June or something, or the 21st of June. It was known as Freedom Day because that was the day where you could see whoever you wanted, you could do what you want. But obviously, if you have COVID, don't be stupid with it and, isolate if you need to. And but at this point, it was about, December time? And I was sitting there and I'm thinking, oh God, we're not going to do a live show. And we got told like Abby had come up with all these different ideas, but then we couldn't do a live show. So then we did another online one, as I was saying earlier. And to be honest, we did pretty well. I think the production value was up. There was a lot more different styles of songs and all of that. There was also, best way to describe what else there was more venues that we got to go to. Like I remember we were in, not Brett B. What's the other one? Belper. That's the one. We're in Belper and we're at like this small cinema. And honest to God, this small cinema is like, the old school cinemas that you see in movies.
Oh yeah.
It was like one of them, proper velvet seats, proper picture screen, all that.
What, like the red carpet up, like Barton?
Kind of like that. Yeah. And it was a real nice vibe and we did a dance up there and we did a song. I was wearing this gold satin shirt, which honest to God, it wasn't flattering for me. It's definitely not a colour I would have chosen. But anyway, it fit for the vintage because we did what Postmodern Jukebox. We did a version of a Beyonce song, which for the life of me at the moment I can't remember. But we did that, and it was because I quite like Postmodern Jukebox. I think that the twist on songs to make it more vintage is quite nice. But it was it was an experience because then we did Merry Christmas, not Merry Christmas everyone. It wasn't even I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. That's it. Slade's Merry Christmas everyone. Yeah, that's the one. There's so many Merry Christmas everybody. I Wish It Could Be Christmas. I don't even know, but yeah, it was Slade's, and it was a jazz version, which was quite nice. And I remember we had to sing and walk. And I'm so glad that they mic'd us up and we were singing separately because at one point I was like, your stock is up on a wall. Jeez, can't do this. And because I'm just out of breath because we've done it about 6 times up and down these stairs. But yeah, I mean, we filmed at loads of different places. Like we did one in Derby Museum of Making. Then we filmed at somebody's house where we did Sleeping Beauty. We did, the one where we did like the Taylor Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
And it was me and Ellie. I think that was probably the best one we did because it was really funny because we had like special effects and everything. We had like a dragon that was CGI, which was really cool. We had the cool transitions. And I think I was wearing a Wham Christmas t-shirt, which I'd love that t-shirt.
See, I don't remember any of them. I don't think we spoke about this one.
No. But the big thing that happened with that one, and as I was saying earlier, I was in Tesco's one of the days. And I was out with my brother, we're just, as you do, nose around Tesco, and I get a text from Abby saying, Ross, what are you doing on this date? I said, I think I'm teaching. Why? She went, I'm going to I've managed to talk with Dom and we're going to film a scene with Matt Willis if you're free. I've never ever texted a cover session like, look, can you cover me? I can't teach today because I'm going to go and film with Matt Willis. That was a surreal experience. That was really bizarre, like meeting an idol, working with him. I remember when he walked into the room, because he's good friends with Dom. Remember he walked into the room and I was stood there and he was like, hi, nice to meet you. He said, I'm Ross. And he was like, nice to meet you, Ross. I'm like, just said my name. Matt Willis just said my name. And then, he was talking to Dom and I said to Abby, I went, pinch me. And she went, why? I said, just pinch me because I think I'm dreaming. And yeah, we filmed this scene where they were included into the 2021 Christmas show where he was trying to read this poem. I thought he'd come sing us a song, but he hadn't. He was just come to read this poem he'd written, and he never ever got his poem out, basically. And yeah, I was like, the heightened version of my character was I was quite snooty. I was like, oh yeah, I'm good mates with Santa, and always he's like, and it was crazy. Like, and then there was a moment where me and Matt we went off to go and rehearse these lines. And I was like, I said, I was sitting there and I came up with someone. I went, so, you've been busy. What are you up to? And I'm like, what's he's fucking busy, Ross? He's Matt Willis. He's currently doing Waitress touring. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. I said, how have you found it? You found it quite hard from being like a pop punk singer. And he was like, what about you? What do you do? And I'm like, Matt Willis is asking me what I do. I was sitting there going, do I just tell him and go, yeah, just, I'm flying over to my villa. I'm gonna just go and take out the Audi R8 for the spin.
Yeah, just play it cool.
Oh, mate. It was like, that episode in Only Fools and Horses?
Yeah.
Where Double goes, play it cool, trick, play it cool. It was one of those, and then a fall over. Yeah. But yeah, no, we were talking and he was saying, and I'm going to spoil it for a lot of people here, but during we were recording, he was saying, we were talking about Santa. And then I said, that's me. I'm Santa, And he was like, no, it isn't. I went, it is, Matt. I said, it's me. It's Santa. He went, no, it isn't. And Dom was like, no, it is. And he showed him a clip. And Matt went, he went, that's you? I went, yeah. He went, that's really good. I'm sitting there going,
thank you.
Which then at that point, I actually did a Santa video for him and his kids, where I said, Merry Christmas. I hope you're looking forward. And basically, I get like this script where I talk and I say to the kids going, I'm really excited that you've done all this. And, I heard that you really want this for Christmas. And, the kids absolutely shit themselves. It's starting to go, oh my God, Santa's on the TV. I hope none of those kids are watching because I've just absolutely destroyed their dream. But yeah, so there was that. And they said, yeah, you can do one for Matt. And I was like, ooh, oh, check me out. You could do one for Matt Willis. So yeah, I've done a Santa video for his kids. That's something. But yeah, no, it was a weird time doing that Christmas show. It was, I think, because again, we weren't doing a live one. It was, I think, yeah, it was just very bizarre.
And also, did you get his digits? Did you stay in contact?
Oh, mate, I wish. No, I wish.
How are you doing? You know,
I wish I'd stayed in contact with him, but I hadn't. Just putting out the prime.
Just put the prime out there.
That was something that came out. What is it? This year, last year, something like that. But yeah, so yeah, no, with Matt Willis in general, it was a surreal moment. The fact like I had a photo and stuff, and
yeah,
there was a brilliant clip that they actually kept in the end, which I didn't think they would. It was a bit once we finished the scene, Matt came in and he was getting ready to leave and he hugged and spun me round. And there's a bit where I'm like laughing and proper giddy, like a little fangirl. And they kept it in because they had it as like a saying, Matt, you know, donated his time and all of this. And we just want to say thanks. And yeah, it was the moment where I was like, oh my God, I'm hugging and dancing Matt Willis. Yeah, that was really surreal. Very, very mad. And it was a good way to end 2021, I think.
Well, no, it's cool though.
It was one of those that I'd sat there and was like, what is happening?
Yeah, did this actually happen?
Yeah, because 2021, I'd done a film that was on in Burton not long ago. And I got to work with a childhood idol then as well. Remember Pete Bennett from Big Brother?
Yeah.
You know, the one with Tourette?
Yeah.
Got him on speed dial.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got him on speed dial. Yeah. Good friends with him as well. Talk to him every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a weird one. When I was filming with him, I sat there and the guy who's director says, "Oh yeah, Steve Bennett. Yeah, he's going to do it." And I was like,
"What?
Pete Bennett? Even not Steve? Why am I saying Steve? Pete Bennett? I'm that disorientated. Yeah, Pete Bennett's going to do it." I was like, "Are you joking?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." Anyway, I was doing this scene with him, and I just turned and went, "Pete, I just want to say I really loved you when I was a kid." I said, me and my mates, we used to talk about you in the playground all the time. He was like, "Oh, you know, cheers, and all that." And yeah, he was a good laugh. We had proper, like, we were having banter all day. We were chatting. We were talking about Big Brother. We were talking about things that I can't really talk about on camera because they're a bit, well, you know.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, because he travelled up from Brighton. He travelled up on the train from Brighton and he was getting a train, but he was like, "Oh, you know, Ross, would you mind taking me to the train station?" I was like, yeah, okay. So we were chatting in the car and we were having a laugh and we got there quite early and he says, "Is there a local pub that we can go to?" I was like, "Yeah, all right then." So then I had a pint and I was having some crisps with Pete Bennett and we were just talking about his life, about life after Big Brother. I was talking about, because he was an actor as well. He was getting into acting and he was like, what? He was asking me for tips and I was like going, okay, I understand why you're asking me for tips because I've done it for a while, but at the same time, I'm like, you're Pete Bennett. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but I suppose, look, I mean, you've been in the industry a little bit, so, you know, look, you can always learn something from someone, can't you?
Oh, yeah, 100%. But it was...
But someone like him, you know,
it was really weird. Like, we were talking about, like, if he kept in contact with people, and he was like, yeah, he was still in touch with most of them. But yeah, I mean... And he also introduced me to a new cider as well, which it's sold at the Devi in Burton. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it's a really nice pint. Crisp.
Yeah, but the Devi does their own stuff as well, don't they, as well?
Yeah, they do. But this one, Pete had said that he tried before. And I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me at some point. But yeah, that was mad. So 2021 overall for me was pretty good. What about you? What can you remember from 2021?
Like I say, it was a blur, but I think what sticks out the most was starting the music because obviously through lockdown, I know I mentioned it briefly on the other pods, but doing that and then just working towards that, something I've always wanted to do, but never thought I was going to do. And obviously lockdown gave me the opportunity to do that and then just carry on doing that and work on new projects, work on some new ones now. But yeah, it was weird because it's one of those things, obviously being a DJ, you just think at that time, just focus on that. And then when you go from, you know, working on your mixes then like for like events and all that, and then going into nothing and you're thinking, well, what am I going to do? And then doing that, and obviously shared lots of music with you. What hasn't been released, thinking I need to tweak that, do this. And then it's weird because I've even looked at different genres what I never thought I'd even do. Because like the lo-fi.
That album, I remember when you sent me that, and I love lo-fi music in general. I think it's one of those genres of music that even like you can use it in any setting. Like whenever I work, like editing, or if I'm on set or something, I like to listen to lo-fi, or if I'm on a walk, or if I'm gaming. And I think it was probably one of the best lo-fi albums I'd heard in a long time, to be honest, mate. You want to be honest there? I'm not just saying it because you're here.
Oh, no, I was going to say, thank you for bigging me up. And it's also on all streaming platforms if anyone wants to listen to it, or you could buy it as well. So
I was about to say, it's
either
amazing.
one,
It is really nice. And I think, because I actually, when I was doing like whenever I listened to it and I was making short films, I think I did one last year, I actually messaged you, didn't I, saying, oh, can I use one of your tracks? I didn't use it in the end, I'm really sorry to say. But
the royalties.
I know, you could have had a lot of royalties of 30p.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I think your music, I think it fits so well. I mean, you did me a lo-fi soundtrack in 2022 for my streaming stuff.
Yeah, I did for your for your charity stream. Yeah, because we spoke about it and was like, I had the idea saying, let's do a track.
Yeah,
but then we sort of came to the conclusion, well, it's a little bit too late to do the track. So
I just finished that. Because in 2021 was the first time I did that 24-hour challenge.
Yeah,
it was. And at that point, we hadn't really spoken about it. Like I'd mentioned it to you in passing.
Yeah. And
then 2022, you said, look, I know you like lo-fi. You want me to do some stuff? And I was like, yeah, of course, man. And it kept going.
Yeah, it did. It was a bit of lo-fi, a bit more oomphy for you through the night. I remember that.
Yeah.
And we tried a bit of house, didn't we, or something?
Yeah.
And that, I think that was like was it 2:00 in the morning type?
Yeah, so that I remember. So I was at the point, I think it was where at that point barely anyone's on. Like you might have like the odd US viewer or somewhere in Australia at that point. And I was playing House Flipper and I was like, right, I'm just going to chuck this soundtrack on just to keep me going. And it helped me massively because at one point I sat there and I was doing this all the way through, just like eyes were drooping because I was so tired because I'd been up for about 12 hours straight, 12, 13 hours straight at that point. So it was rough.
Because you started at 1, didn't you?
Yeah. So, because I was originally planning to start at 10 a.m., but then I moved it to 1 p.m., which I think, because in 2021, I'd done it from like 10 till 10. So it was kind of a little bit easy, but 1 till 1, I thought, right, I'll do it. Because at this point, you had the FIFA World Cup on, and I was like, well, everyone's going to want to watch that. Then you also had Strictly Come Dancing, the final on the night I was doing it. You had everything happen those 2 days. And I was like, well, I don't mind missing out on the World Cup final, because if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. I'm very glad I didn't, because it was an absolutely incredible World Cup final between Argentina and France. But yeah, like the lo-fi music really helped me through, because like I said, I was so wiped. Like I was so wiped.
Yeah, but your schedule was quite good. I mean, at the time it was on Twitch. You were streaming it, but you planned everything out right. You played some good games throughout the night to keep you going. Yeah. Then you had like some more like chilled out games with friends.
So that was good. Yeah, because I think last year's one was definitely better than 2021. I think because 2021 was it was the first time I was trialing it out, seeing what was going on, and I still had some good games in there. But 2022, like you said, there was like Harry Potter and the PS1 I'd never played, and that was a stressful nightmare. I've never, ever been so stressed with a game. Then I played Spyro, which I enjoyed that because I know Spyro inside now.
Yeah. No, I remember that one because that's when I jumped onto the stream.
Yeah, and then I did the Euro truck with my mates.
Yes, which that was quite fun.
That was the same as the year before, though.
But yeah, because you actually did, because it was for charity. stream, you did a special livery, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then you couldn't use it.
Yeah, so I created this livery, which, I mean, it was a spectacle. Like, it was absolutely amazing. So for those who are listening via Spotify, wherever you're getting your podcast from, I had created like this Macmillan truck, which was white. It had green splodges on the side. I'd included the logos for Macmillan. I'd included my Rossi Roo logos on either side of the truck. And I had a trailer that was customized. And it was absolutely fabulous. Like, it was like I said, green and white, and it was in Macmillan green. And I'd created all this in Photoshop. And I mean, it took me a few hours. I remember watching Impractical Jokers, and I remember having it on my second screen whilst I was working on this on Photoshop. And I was absolutely buzzing. Like, I kept it a secret. I was really excited. And then we went and launched into a big group game because we tried to do Wreckfest, but we had loads of issues with that. And then all of a sudden, they said, and I was like, why is this not working? Why is it not working, this livery? And it's because nobody else had the mod. So I couldn't use it. So I had to show it on the stream. And I was like, no, I wanted everyone to see this and to be able to use it. But yeah, I mean, I think that was rough. I mean, that 2022 one, I think it was probably the most tired I've ever been.
Yeah, and also you had a bit of technical, well, not all the time, but you had a couple of technical problems.
Yeah, massive. Like, I had OBS just shutting down.
Yeah.
And I had loads of problems. It was the fact that OBS would freeze, so I had to cancel the stream and start it up again, which was always a nightmare because it's not ideal. It's not ideal. So I had loads of them. And then I had a blue screen up as well. I had a blue screen there. And so I think it was getting towards the latter end. I think it was like the last hour, and I was playing Ghostbusters. And on the camera, you can see me just slowly dozing off.
Slowly going.
And I sat there and I was playing it. And then all of a sudden, I heard this noise. I was like, bloody hell, what's this noise? And Richard and his girlfriend, Lauren, decided they were going to scare me and surprise me on stream with toys and sweets and noises, which, I mean, the adrenaline was pumping at that point because I was so scared at what had happened and been so startled. This adrenaline was pumping. And it was mad. Like, it was just, ticker was going like that. And that was really cool. I mean, apparently there was meant to be a load more people who were going to appear here and like surprise me. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, unfortunately, a load of them, just couldn't commit or couldn't do it. And I was like, mate, I said, the fact that it's just you two. But yeah, I mean, I've raised over for the last few years. I think I've raised about £500 to £600 for Macmillan with that, which again, I think out of everyone, it's amazing to see those, like, having people donate. Because at the end of the day, all I'm doing is I'm just staying up playing games. But the fact that you've got people doing it is...
but I mean, it's for a very good cause. And I mean, we don't know what that... I mean, we know it funds something in for the charity, but we don't know what it is doing. But
I do actually.
Oh, do you? Go on then. Go on.
When you donate the money, it tells you what each amount would supply. So I think £250 is a nurse for the day for them at a community centre.
So you've got two nurses then?
In theory, two nurses. £100 was like you're able to... I think it was like able to keep the phones going or something like that, and to provide like the community like phone line so they can talk to you. I could be wrong on that one. I can't remember that one exactly. I just remember the £250 was a nurse, and then I think if you raise I think it was either £300 to £750, you could actually run a community centre for the day, like a community thing for people who are suffering with cancer to come in and actually have like a talk to people and just kind of meet people who are in the same situation, all those sort of things. And it was, I think when you look at it like that, you don't realise how much of an impact it does have. And like I say to people going, look, £1, £5 is, it's amazing. Because if you get 10 people are donating £5, you've already raised 50 quid. I mean, there was points in 2021 where I had I'd had a £250 goal and I think I raised £300+ But yeah, it was mad. Like I said, I mean, out of all the games that I played in that one, I have to say Your Truck was the most fun because it was just carnage.
Oh yeah, absolute it was. Carnage. I did jump in on that bit. Yeah.
I think, but if you were to tell somebody, right, and you got to and go, right, you're going to play a trucking sim where you literally just driving, dropping off loads with your mate, you think they're going,
oh, that's boring.
Yeah, exactly. You sit there and go, That's pretty dull. But when it was with us lot, we were like racing each other. I mean, I tipped over about 25,000 times. If you go on the Rossi Roo channel, I actually created an edit of the best moments. Like, it was no word of a lie. It was about 4 to 9 hours of footage I had to cut down. And I cut it down to like a base where it was like stuff that was happening. And then I cut it down to 45 minutes. And then I originally, when I finished editing it, I was going to upload it straight away and go, cool, that's great. Then I looked at it and went, oh no, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add sound design. I'm going to add sound effects. I'm going to do all sorts. I'm going to make this like meme material. And yeah, and like I watch it now and I sit there and go, it's probably one of the best edits I've done. Like there's bits where there's like crash zooms that are really quick and all like different, like the bits where you hear the truck hitting each other and you hear like glass and all that. That doesn't happen in game. That's all because of stuff I've done in editing. But yeah, honestly, with those guys like Kaylin, Martin, Richard and Lauren, it was absolute pandemonium on the trucking.
Well, we'll put the link in the description down below.
Yeah, in the dump.
Yeah, we'll put that in the YouTube. Can we do it on the Spotify or not?
I think we should be able to on the Spotify.
Yeah.
I will find out for you.
Yeah.
If it ends up, if you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, if you're listening, you can see the link. We've done it. If not, just head over to YouTube and you can find it there. But if you get on YouTube, you can see us as well, which you get to see our beautiful faces.
For the very first time.
I know. I mean, my lovely Hobbit t-shirt, which I got from a pub. No word at all. I got this from a pub. It even says the Hobbit pub in Southampton.
Oh, you didn't win it then?
No, I did. I had to win it. I had to win it.
You had to win it?
Yeah, I had to drink 12 cocktails. Pint-sized. But, right, so story time. So, Andy, you're not actually meant... they give you a card, right? I was touring in 2017.
Yeah.
Kind of gone off on a tangent here. I was meant to be talking about the last few years, but I'm talking now. But yeah, so I had this card and it says, right, you can stamp it so you know which drinks you've had. I was like, okay, cool. Okay. And it says in there, you don't have to in one sitting, keep this card and you can come back. So me, my tour manager and Ainsley, we were in Southampton because we were touring at this point. It's like January time. And we go to the Hobbit pub because, a few of us are Lord of the Rings fans. We go in there and we see this and we're like, oh, and I said, oh, you get a free t-shirt. He's like, yeah. If you get them, you get a free 13th cocktail, which was the Nazgul, which was like a black, honestly, it was like so black. If you put light into it, I don't think any light would refract in it. It was that dark. But yeah, and they said, look, you get like all the pints are named after different members of the fellowship. You're like Aragorn, you've got Smeagol, you've got Frodo, Sam, Legolas, all of these. And me and my tour manager went, oh, we're only here for one night. Let's do it. So we got our cards and we get they're a pint-sized cocktail. So, as you can imagine, normal cocktails, normal glasses and all that, but these were like full pint. It was the equivalent of, the pictures in Wetherspoons. You get like the glasses there.
Oh yeah.
You could probably get about 2 glasses out of that picture. It was literally the equivalent of that.
And you had 12 of them?
I had 13 because I did them all in one night, didn't I? I was so drunk. I didn't know I was. There's so on my Snapchat at the time when I had it, I actually filmed the entire saga. So I was filming clips saying, "This is the drink. This drink done." And there's me at the start going, "Yeah, we're drinking." And then there's a bit where there's me going, "I've had this. I'm fucked. I'm done." Like I was so drunk. Like I was so hammered. Like to the point that I had to have a tactical chunder a few times just to get me through it. Like it was really bad. Really bad.
Were you performing the next day? That's the main question.
No. So we went down on the Saturday and we're off the Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah. We drank all these cocktails and you got to pick a t-shirt, which this one.
Yeah.
So, and there was another guy in there and I remember it because I've got photos with him. There's a guy who did it as well that night. He was like, oh yeah, we got the shirts. We were like, yeah, shit, buddies. Winners circle and all. Anyway, I have the Nazgul, which, again, I think out of all the cocktails I remember having, which I actually remember most of them, that was my favourite. And it was black, it had like absinthe, it had like Sambuca.
Yeah, but when you have absinthe though, it's like you black out though.
Oh, well, I didn't black out. I remember the night still.
You remember all of it?
I remember all the night. I remember the pints. I remember where we sat. I can tell you exactly who was sat in what order. I can remember telling you that we went outside and I was drinking the Nazgul, and I took my time with that one because I thought, well, I've done this challenge now. I don't need to kind of race through it. But honestly, no word lie, no lie. I can tell you, mate. Seriously.
Wow.
Like, it's I think the toughest ones I had were the Frodo. That had orange juice in. That was rough. Because it started curdling as you drank it. So the orange juice was rough. I'm trying to think of the other one that was quite tough. It was the really sweet ones that were the struggles. Like the really sweet flavoured ones. They were the tough ones. But yeah, that's where I got this t-shirt. So I'm proud of it.
Well, good on you for doing the 13 then.
I know. I did them all. And it's my it's on my CV. It says, what are your list of achievements? Well, I got GCSEs, got 7. I've got a Duke of Edinburgh award, and I drank 13 cocktails in one night.
I would be happy if I get past 1.
Oh, mate, honestly, I'm quite big enough, so I was able to kind of tolerate it. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun. But that I mean, that was what, 2017? Yeah, 2017 going into 2018. That's how long ago that was.
Blast from the past.
Oh, well, it was a blast. But yeah, so going into 2022, we're jumping a few years from 2017 now. 2022 was, I said it in the podcast, 2021 was going to be the redemption year. I was wrong. 2021 wasn't the redemption year. 2022, though, was the redemption year because it was kind of, we went into another mini lockdown, didn't we, for a bit in 2021. We went into like a mini lockdown, which was a circuit breaker, which I don't understand why it was called that because it wasn't really like, it was like, it was only for a few weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
No, so we did that and then we came out and everything was back to normal. Like, I mean, like how it has been since. But yeah, I remember that year. It was...
Yeah, no, because I remember it because they were on about the holiday passes, weren't they? Like you had to have a special pass.
With your traffic light.
Yeah, and yeah.
With your vaccine pass.
Yeah, vaccine pass.
Do you remember one of the, the traffic light system? Do you remember what one of the islands was on the green one? The Falkland Islands.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, do you know why?
Why?
Because there's nobody who lives there apart from penguins. Like, I'm not being funny.
I can see why it's a green there.
Who in their right mind, rant here. Who in their right mind, when they were going on holiday, went, right, where do you want to go? Tenerife? Oh, I can't do it. It's in amber. Oh, where do you want to go? Italy? Can't do that. It's rampant. Oh, it's rampant of COVID. Okay, can't do that. What about you? What about the Falklands? Do you fancy just getting a jet to holiday to the Falklands?
Yeah.
I love penguins, but I'm not going to go to an island where I sit there and go, oh, yes, penguins. It's just weird. Like, I know the government are stupid, but who in their right mind sat there and went, right, we're going to put the Falklands, right? Penguin Central. You might as well just said we can go to London Zoo and it's fine. But yeah, that traffic light system, it was so bizarre because you had green, it was okay to go to, you didn't have to come back and isolate. If it was amber, you had to isolate. And if it was red, you had to isolate.
Yeah, amber wasn't it 2 weeks? Or was that the red?
So red, you had to isolate for 2 weeks. Amber, you had to isolate for 2 weeks. Unless, if you came back to England, unless you did this, you went from one of those countries, let's say Spain or Portugal, and you left there, you came back over to Ireland, then went to Scotland, and then came back to England. So let's say you go to Spain for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You go and fly back to Ireland for a week. Then you fly to Scotland for a week, and then come back to England. You don't have to isolate because in Scotland and Ireland, you didn't have to isolate. So
there was a good loophole.
Yeah, it was a loophole, and there was loads of people that were doing it. Like there was loads of people that were going, well, if I go to Ireland for a week and then I go to Scotland for a week, then I don't have to isolate. So people were factoring into their holiday. They were going, right, I'll have this time off. And then they used to work from home. They'd work from home in Ireland and then in Scotland. It's a clever loophole.
Yeah.
But it defeated the point.
I'll be honest, I didn't know about that.
See.
There you go.
See, I didn't really go on holiday much. Like the last holiday I went on was in 2021, where I went with Richard and Dave. We went on a caravan holiday. And that was a good laugh. That was funny because it was just a bunch of late 20-year-old blokes in a caravan. What else could go wrong? It was like a bad Top Gear episode at one point.
What knockoff version?
Oh yeah. Well, there's a video out there that I actually created years ago with Rich and Dave where we did Top Gear with a twist.
Oh no, you showed me the other day.
Yeah. The one where when we created it, it was all improv. There was no script. It's obviously very obvious. It's all improv and off the cuff. But yeah, we created this Top Gear sort of mix with Far Cry, where the Top Gear guys go on film at this place and then they find out there's a guy who's stalking them and wants to murder him. They kill Richard Hammond. Then Jeremy runs away and then takes off the balaclava and it cuts to the credit. Because at the time, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever done. I was like, oh my God, it opens it up.
I mean, did it do well in numbers?
No.
It did really well. Really well.
It was, yeah, it's one of those that Richard, whenever we watch it, Richard looks back and goes, why did I have a mohawk? Because he had a mohawk. Yeah, he had a mohawk. I remember him getting shaved into his head. I went with him to the barber's. I remember going back to his and his mum going, what the hell have you done? Well, it wasn't that sweet. It was like, what the fuck have you done? What have you done? Like, so yeah. And so there was that. And then because beforehand we'd filmed like this, and I think that one was better. I think I'd love to remake that with the guys. This trailer we did. We had like this clip of them like bombs, explosions. Like Dave had like this toy shotgun he was firing off and all this. And then it cut to them in the playground. You know, like those.
You just messed about. Yeah.
Come on, guys, you're in a kids' play park. Give it a rest. And then they cut back to doing it. And it was one of those, like when we created that, again, that was off the cuff. That was like one of those where we sat there and thought, that's funny. And we look back, like even to this day, and as egotistic as this may sound, I look back on that and I think, that's funny. That was actually quite funny. The Top Gear with the twist was just bad, very bad. But that one was actually quite funny. And I'd love to remake it now with my own editing ability and see what could happen. Maybe that could be something for 2023. Not 2022, because that's gone.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
So what happened to you in 2022? What happened to you? Anything exciting?
Good question. I'm thinking about it now. Put me on the spot. I know we had a brief discussion. Again, it was just mainly staying a little bit safe, but not obviously. We were going out doing the gigs.
Yeah, big time. We had a lot more gigs that year.
Yeah, we did. A lot more fun. People were starting to relax.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to the situation, people were cancelling. Oh. There was a bit more, I say, nerves of people wanting to do like their own event or having like a DJ. So that was a bit more challenging because one week we'll be, quite busy. And then the next it'll be like, they've all cancelled.
Yeah.
So to have that balance was... it was different. I mean, but again, though, now, obviously, and now I'm jumping and going off the topic, but now everyone seems to be like up for it more and like confident and they want to party and have a good time with their friends because they can now. Yeah,
I think with 2022, it was still putting out feelers because, I mean, I went to 2 weddings in 2021. I went on a stag do in 2021. That was weird because we're in Liverpool and we're in a club and I'm sat down. Yeah. Because at this point, we were still going through the roadmap. And then at the actual wedding itself and the reception, we were close with people and it was nice.
Yeah, but it was limited though, wasn't it? It wasn't like it wasn't like you could have it maxed out.
Yeah, so in 2021, it was weird because when these weddings were, you could cut one of my friends, Kaylee, she had prepped for that, so she only had 30 guests maximum, just in case anything was to happen. But whereas my other friends, Kat and George, they just treated it like a normal wedding, and that was good. I think that was the first proper weekend that I kind of went out and did something. Because obviously I went out into clubs in Burnley. Burnley. And then went up to the wedding there and stuff. That was cool. But in 2022, I think a lot more parties happened, and I think because I think there was that security that people were going, right, okay, this is it now. We can do this, we can do that. Because I did my first live show in 2022 then.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I did Calendar Girls. I didn't do calendar girls. I didn't be one of the girls. I know I could pass for one now, but I wasn't one. Stunned for words.
What do I say to that?
Yeah, I played. It was an Amdram show, and I did a play. Stop laughing. I did calendar girls.
No, you just got that image in my head now.
Yeah, me just naked. I did calendar girls, and I played a 16-year-old called Danny at the age of 26. So I was 10 years older than what I was meant to be for the part. But I did the part, and it was really funny. There was this group who came and saw us, and they were doing like another society. I'm like, oh my God, we're doing calendar girls in a few months. You know, have you enjoyed? I was like, yeah. I said, and this person was like, oh yeah, he's playing Danny. I was like, oh, bro. And she was like, how old are you? And I said, oh, guess. And she went, oh, you must be about at least 16. I said, no. I went higher. She went, oh, what about 18? About 18, 20?
22?
And I sat there and I was like, no, even older. And she went, no. And I said, yeah. She said, I thought you were the youngest out of the three. And I said, no, I'm 26. At the time I was 26. And yeah, so the other two people I'd performed with, one of them was 23, so younger, and the other one was 17. So I was older than all them two, and there's me apparently looking younger. I've got to thank my parents for that.
Well, you got the job.
Yeah, so I did that. Then I did a second show in May where I did the full Monty.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember you messaged me about that one.
Yeah, that's one where I got my kit off. That was good fun. That was a laugh. That was the one where on the opening night I moved my hat in the wrong place.
Scared them all.
And it was caught on video.
Was it?
Yeah. There was not meant to be any phones. There wasn't meant to be any phones, but that incident was caught on camera. Yeah. So what happened was, when we did it, we had the red thongs and they had Velcro on the sides that you'd unhook there and then you'd pull it off and put your hat there so you couldn't see anything. And then what happened is you'd
just fling off.
What you do is you'd hold the hat and you get the thong and you do this to like show, hey, I've took it off. I'm actually butt naked under this. And then there was lights behind you that blind the audience. So when you're stood up there, you can see everyone's eyes and everyone's faces looking at you, but they can't see you. It's the most weirdest, surreal experience ever. And yeah, on the opening night, because I got really annoyed, I was really pissed off afterwards. Not because of it happening, I was just more pissed off at the fact that I'd messed up. And what happened was, when I was taking off the gear, we'd done all the trousers and everything like that, and we were in the thongs and all this. And I went to go and take the thong, and what had happened was, on the side where the Velcro was, it twisted, so it was sitting on itself. So I couldn't take it off. So there's me going, oh my God, like, shit. So I went like this. I went, all right, I grabbed my hand like that. Forgetting in this hand, the hat was covering my bit. So I've got the full stage light on me, and I'm stood there and I'm like, I've realised what I've done. My bits are now on show. So I was like, slowly move that there, and I was struggling. I literally had to pull this off with such force, this thong to come off. The nightmare. Yeah, it was. It was. My parents came to see the show, not on the opening night.
I was going to say, was it on that night?
No. No, it wasn't on opening night. No, they came on.
You dive away. That's my boy.
No, they came. I think it was the Friday, which was that was a good night. The Saturday evening, though, there was another technical issue. So we were all perfect. We were all in time. We took off the thongs. Everything had come off in the right time, right place. And then all of a sudden, the blinders that come on, the techie had obviously pressed it twice. So the lights went like that, and then the lights came on, and we'd all moved our hats like this. And we're like, crap. So we all threw them back, and one guy kept his off. And then when the curtain started closing, we all started doing that, just waggling, like helicoptering. Yeah, so I did that.
What do I say to that?
Yeah, so yeah, I took my kit off for that. That was fun.
Well, now you know, people, there's a lot of technical problems in everything.
Yeah, so it took me kit off for that, and then I did Kips in September.
Yeah, I went to that. Yeah,
that was the first time I was leading a show since 2014 when I came back and I did Honk, where I played Ugly the Duck.
Yeah,
that was the last time I'd played a lead in a mellow show.
No, I remember coming to that night because there was a scene where the bed was out, and then all of a sudden, it went. And because even your face, I mean, you did stay in character, obviously, professional, but it's just the way you went, and then it was like, it was that moment thinking, is it going to go or am I going to have to improvise here?
Honestly, when I sat in that bed and I sat down and I heard it clunk, like you said, you saw it in my face go, let go. And we all kind of looked at each other.
Yeah, to say,
and you know what the worst thing was? When that bed got took off, there was a screw on the stage. There was a screw on the stage. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this was literally on the verge. And it did it again like a few nights after. And then we found out what was causing it. It was like one of the plates wasn't secured correctly. So every time you sat on it, it would move. Yeah, that was funny. But that show, I really enjoyed that show. I had to learn how to tap dance for that.
Yeah, and you also played the banjo in it.
Yep. I had to learn how to play the banjo.
Yeah.
Yep, I had to learn, and it's my own banjo. It's next door.
I don't know why we're not in that room.
We're not in that room, but it's that room there.
Over there.
It's in there. Yeah, I had to learn how to play the banjo. That was good fun. And because originally they were going to use somebody to cover me, so I'd literally have it on stage and I'd play it. And I said, nah, just get me a plate. I'll play it. I'll do that. Yeah. I don't do things like that. I can't stand where you can tell it's been dubbed or somebody's covering for somebody else.
I'll be honest, though, at the end of the show, I didn't realise that there was a live band because no, it was only because when you pointed, you went like that, and I was like, over there, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like,
yeah. So not a lot of people realise that we have a live band that are playing.
But it was hidden there, wasn't it? You couldn't actually see it.
Yeah, there were sometimes they're out at the front, like at the front of the stage, and sometimes they're back there. But yeah, no, that was a really good show. I really enjoyed that one. It was different for me. I mean, it was a show where I think in total I had 2 moments where I was off. The very start when they were doing the national anthem because old Queen Lizzie had died.
Yeah,
there was those times when I was off. Then there was a song where I was not on for the song, but I was basically putting on my tap shoes and getting changed. Then there was the interval where I was getting changed again into another costume. Then there was a moment where I went off for a start of a scene and they were, I had to get changed then as well. So a lot of time I was just getting changed. But yeah, I think there was only a few moments where I got a few respites where I was able to have a drink. But a lot of the time, like I said, I was changing costume. I was tuning my banjo, just making sure it was in tune. I was drinking like gallons and gallons of water. I mean, I was drinking like at least 2 to 3 liters of water every show.
Well, you were on and off all the time, though, weren't you? So
I was on like, I think.
It was like a yo-yo.
Time. Yeah, like when I read the scripts, like, and when we went for the auditions, they said, whoever does Kips, they have to be ready to take the show on the shoulders because they are. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Let's go for it. And I'm really glad that I managed to do it. But at the same time, like I said, it was like that moment of like, oh my God, this. I didn't realize until we actually, because when you're in rehearsals and you're doing the show, you're not really doing it in chronological order. Like you go, oh yeah, I'm in this number, I'm in this number. But when you put the show together and you actually run it from top to bottom, that's when you realize and go, Jesus, I've got a lot here.
Yeah.
It was, And then I did the Christmas show.
Yes, you did.
Where we had mix of live and it being filmed.
Yes, we did. Well, I say we did. I mean, I watched it. I wasn't in it.
Yeah, no, we did that. That was a very weird experience.
It was different compared to the year before, but it was
It was different. I think what was different was the fact that we filmed the show online. So we did all like the online bits, like how we did before, where we have the camera crew like that in your face and all that. And then we had moments where they filmed it because we had a one night only show, because we even had the song One Night Only right at the start, which if you went and watched the live show, you would have seen. But if you watched the online show, you wouldn't have seen.
Because I watched the online show, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so in the live show, it was clever how it was done. We had the live show, which was actually different to the online. So there was elements that would be brought from the live show into the online show, but there were songs that weren't included on the online show, if that makes sense. I think I've confused myself.
I'm thinking about it now. So
yeah. So yeah, that was different. That was a very different experience because I think there was a lot of new cast members. There was a lot of new cast members because a lot of the other cast members couldn't do it or couldn't commit because they were doing other things. There was a few from the year before but even then they weren't doing much. And then the singers, I think it was just me. I'd worked with Paige during Kips, and then we had 2 brand new singers who we'd never worked with. So it was trying to create a new dynamic for that. And yeah, it was an interesting concept. It was challenging at points, but I think that was because it was trying to create a new chemistry for the singers, and then also trying to get our head round of doing live and online, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because doing film is so different to doing something live.
My favourite scene though was you and Paige.
Yeah.
The ones on the stairs, and then you saw it was all in the scene. This was, and he just storms off, and but the best thing is when it pans over, because I don't think many people knew about it, and then like someone part of the team was sort of like looking, is this supposed to happen? I mean,
that was my idea.
Yeah,
that was my idea. That was
but I think it's because no one knew about it really.
Yeah.
It was just like off the cuff. It was just...
So when we were planning that, I had mentioned to Abby saying we should do it like The Office.
Yeah.
I'm a big Office fan, for those who don't know, the US Office. And a lot of their stuff is crash zooms and people looking at the camera going like that, and like, or giving a reaction to the camera or something. And I wanted it to feel like it was a documentary sort of thing, because the whole premise was I was so used to working with LA doing these stories, and I had Paige who was new and she wanted to do her own thing, whereas I was unhappy with that. I don't like change.
Yeah.
And I said to Abby, let's have us storming off. In the first take we did, we hadn't told the film crew.
Yeah.
I didn't tell the film crew. I didn't tell anyone. There was the only people who knew was Abby, me, and Paige. That were the only ones who knew.
Was it one take, or did you?
So we did the first take where I stormed off.
Yeah.
The one that you see where Oren's like going, what's going on? That was the first one. And then we did another take so Josh could get some extra footage. Obviously, they knew what was going to happen, but it was so in he could get a better shot at that point. But the first one was all natural reaction. Like I said, the only person who knew was Paige. And like I said, I just ripped off my microphone and got angry. Which it was my own lapel mics. I said to Josh, I've brought mine. I just want to use mine because, he was like, yeah, it's no worries. Because obviously I thought if I rip it off and I break it, it's my own fault. I don't want to break their gear. So there was that. And that was good fun. I enjoyed that. We did a live version of, I can't remember, we did another story live. That was funny at point because we had a balloon that I brought on. It was like a random balloon and it got let go and it got stuck in the rafters.
And that was in the show? That
was in the live show, yeah. Well, so there's that. But I think the biggest thing for me that came out of 2022 was working with England's women's team.
Yes, yeah.
It was good, that was. Mental.
And also you had to be hush-hush about it.
Yeah, I had to. So my friend Dan, who I love to pieces, we've kind of always looked out for each other. Like if we ever see something, if we go, right, let's help. If we can help each other, we will. And he turned to me and says, look, Ross, we need a cam op. He would just join this company. He says, look, we need a cam op, man. Would you be up for it? It'd be for Nationwide, be doing it, doing this. I was like, yeah, of course. And then they said, it's going to be working with the England team. It could have been the men's and the women. And I sat there, I was like, oh my God. Yes, 100%. And then they said, it was meeting all the captains over the last 50 years. So, you're meeting the very first captain, Sheila, who was the very first ever women's captain. Then you were meeting like Jill, who had reached, I think she was the most capped England's captain ever. Then you had Faye White, who was more from my sort of era of when I started watching football, who was Arsenal captain and the women's captain at the time for England. Then they said, we're going to go and film. We're actually going to film the current England's women's team doing a game of On the Map, where Nationwide had this challenge where they had to guess where some of the players were from, right? And they had to put a ball in. And the women were really good.
Oh, yeah, haven't got a Scooby.
Whereas, as you just said there, Dan managed to capture one of the most viral clips of last year in football. So if you've not seen it, there is a scene where the England's men's team are doing the exact same game with Emma, right? And Jordan Henderson, Ward-Prowse and Conor Cody all doing it. And then suddenly Jack Grealish decides he's going to pop up on the scene, right? He comes over with his big calves and all that and his funky hairdo and his big, thick Brummie accent. I'm not there. Dan tells me about this. Like after he shot it and it's been all uploaded, he's like, Ross, you need to watch this episode purely for this. I was like, okay. Anyway, he comes over and you've got Grealish going, oh, what are you doing? And Hendo goes, oh, we're just trying to guess where you're from. I've put it here. And Jack Grealish like has this look of, and then they all start laughing. And he sits there and goes, I ain't got a Scooby. Is that England? And everyone's like, oh my God. Like they all start laughing, bursting out. So obviously Dan had captured his footage and then suddenly it was in all the papers going on about funny moment where Grealish doesn't realise it's England. It was all over the sporting news. It was parodied. It was all over TikTok, Instagram Reels. And then the best one I saw was last year. There's an animation series called BR Football. They do a thing called Champions where they do like, it's like the Champions League and they're in this hotel and it's all a bit stupid and funny. And one of the clips they had was Man City and it had Jack Grealish in front of the map going, what's this? This England? I ain't got a clue where it is. And it was and I sent it to Dan and went, Dan, how do you feel knowing that you filmed one of these the most viral clip of 2022? Yeah, it was really weird to see. Like it's weird knowing because I know the guy who filmed it and the people who filmed it. But yeah, like when I met the women's, they were so much better at the game. But yeah, it was meeting them. They were really friendly. They were really chatty, talking to them about that. Obviously, I got to make good friends with Emma. We still talk on the occasion. Emma, who was the host, she's funny. She's the most down-to-earth person you ever meet. She's crackers, great. And then obviously I went up and down the country. I went to like Hull. I went to Doncaster. Went down all the way to like near Essex sort of way. Went all over the country to film all this stuff. And then the big one for me, which was huge, was when I got to go to Wembley and meet Serena Wiegmann herself. And we were filming this interview. Like, the women's coach who, she was known for winning the Euros with the Netherlands. And she was, honest to God, yeah. Like she was the most down-to-earth person I'd ever met. Like her interview, the final video is about 4 minutes long, 4 or 5 minutes long. Hers actual interview was about 30 plus minutes. And it was phenomenal. Like she was properly just talking to us and she was just telling all these great stories. Like one of the ones that always sticks to me is the fact that when she was a kid, because she used to look like a boy, that's what she says. She says, because I look more like a boy, she was able to go and play football with the boys and nobody questioned it because that's what she did. But in the Netherlands, like most people, even though she won the Euros with the national team, she's not as big over there as she is here. Like here, she's like a national treasure. And like everyone goes, Serena Wiegmann, oh my God. But in the Netherlands, she's nothing like that, which is really weird. It's bizarre, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
But I don't know if it's because with England, everyone, I think because we're a bigger football nation in a sense. I don't know if it's because of that maybe. But I mean, obviously when they went over and won the Euros, I mean, I was buzzing for them because obviously we'd said in the interview, I went, Serena, is it coming home? And she went, we're going to make our damn best to make it come home. And when it came home, I kept joking around with people going, yeah, I gave her some tactical advice. I was a tactical, I said to him, right, when you see Mead, I said, you want her to come in and play. You want to play deep and then come forward. And people are like, did you really? I'm like, no. Yeah, I mean, there's a photo with me and Serena, which I love. I mean, I'll probably pop that on the screen now because I can, because why not? But yeah, it was really cool. That was mental that year. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but she's done wonders though, and is still doing wonders.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because obviously, as this is after the Women's World Cup, I mean, she's just a phenomenal manager. I mean, I think I don't want to go too much into football because I know not everyone's into football, but I genuinely would quite like to see her in the England's men's team, coaching them one day. Me and Mum think she should be Prime Minister. I genuinely think she should be Prime Minister.
Well, you never know, do you? So,
well, she's managed to do something. England winning something.
Yeah,
that's not common. But as like my mum says, and I think she's very right here, if you want something doing right, get the women to do it.
I'm going to agree to
Yeah,
that.
you know what I mean? I think it's so right, though. If the men's can't do it.
Well, no,
they get close,
that's true.
but then they fall at the final hurdle. The women, okay, yeah, they didn't win the World Cup, but they won the Euros the first time I've asked.
Yeah, and also, they've got to the final as well.
Exactly, got to the final. It's the first the women's team ever made. So,
yeah,
can't see why not. But yeah, no, I think 2021, professionally wise, I mean, acting wise, it was the quietest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Quietest ever. Like, I had barely any work. What was it like DJ wise for you, though? And like, in that sense, was it quite busy music wise as well, or?
Music wise, producing, yes. I mean, it was a great opportunity that year. I had one of my good friends, J Rev. We did a track together. So my first collab was.
Which one was that one?
Underground.
That was a good one. Now.
What you can stream
Underground thing.
Yeah.
The vibe thing.
Yeah, that's the one. That's it. Yeah.
I've listened to it that much.
And also, you can stream that anywhere, and we'll put the links all down below.
Good track. I think, yeah.
Just go plug us in there again. You know.
Oh,
and, no, it all started with J Rev. J Rev had the track, and I was listening to it going, I like this. And I was like, I was talking to him about it, and it was like, just needs a little something or a little spice. Nothing major because it was a great track.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. So I had a dabble, sent it back to him, and it was like, no, I really like it. And that was the first collab, and it was awesome. I've known J Rev for years, and to do a track with him, like with someone like you've known for years, like you and Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, and the way he produces and everything is great. I love it. I think he's very talented at it. So it was, and also it was great to work like with one of your friends and to have something together, you know, and because it's always going to be up there.
Yeah.
And can look back and think, well, that's when we did that. That's when we did that, and that's what I love about music because I can sort of see when I've done a track. I'm thinking, well, that's what I was thinking. That's how he was feeling, and it was that project worked really well. And I think, I mean, it's done some numbers, obviously nothing in the millions or anything, but I think it's on maybe almost just 6,000 streams now on Spotify.
That's amazing, though.
So you know, I mean, for us to do that like together as a collab was brilliant. I mean, obviously, I'm still just keep chipping away at the music, but that was the highlight for me in music for 2022. I did have other projects, but that was just by myself, and I worked with someone this year as well, so that was awesome. And it's nice collabing because you learn so many different things.
Yeah,
how the way they produce, and then you just pick that little thing up, and it was awesome. And also as well, I found out I really like doing mashups. So taking acapellas. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. Acapellas from one thing, a track from the others. I mean, at the weekend, obviously, at this point of recording this, the Barbie film came out.
Oh yeah,
I played that. Is it? I never pronounced right. The original Barbie song.
Yeah, by Aqua.
Yeah, Aqua. That's it. And mashed it up to the Avicii track.
It Levels, that one.
No, we played Levels before. It was Wake Me Up.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, sorry.
Wake Me Up. So it was that one.
Because they all sound really like they've all got the same sort of vibe.
Yeah, but it's all that moment on that gig was sort of blended in because I said to you, it's either going to go really well, or I'll be doing a quick transition to something else.
Yeah, I remember you saying it to me.
And all of a sudden, because the gig what we're doing, it was more of a charity gig.
Yeah.
And there was parents with the children, and a lot of the parents actually got up, and it was nice because it was that sort of generation, but with a better, newer style song. So
yeah, well, that's it. And I think that's the thing though. When in 2022, like especially for you, because I mean, you had a fair few tracks come out.
Yeah,
I mean, you had Go Away, which funny enough which I think, to be fair, was the rebrand reveal track.
Yes,
I think because again, and then you had Delight. Was it that came out then, or was that this year?
No, Delight's this year.
Delight's this year.
Yeah,
I mean, you had a fair few tracks come out this year because I remember you always sending me going, Ross, we've got this coming out.
This one, yeah.
And to be honest to you, Ben, like the really good tracks, like I think again, it's like that underground one. I always remember the lyrics to that one. It's a good vibe thing. Yes. That's because I always do it as in You know the Chasing Status song where he goes, you know, in the one where, I can't remember what the song's called, but it's like an Africa sort of style.
Yeah.
The way that the
problem with me,
that one, it's very similar in like the way that those kind of lyrics kind of. Or you always sit and remember them.
Yeah, I was like, you know, like Underground thing. It's a Benni Boi and J Rev thing.
Yeah, it's good.
That's what I had in my head. It's not on the track,
but that works though, and that's the thing. It works really well. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's again like you're going into this year now. I mean, you've had. What is it? Delight that came out, which I listened to earlier.
Yeah, I had a Delight and I had one of the track out was just a lo-fi. Well, I say just a lo-fi track. It was a lo-fi track.
Yeah.
Was early on in the year. We're still working on some more stuff for this year. Well, we keep talking about maybe something, but we still got to finalize everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we do in the works that we talk about, we get ideas about, and then we kind of it's cementing that final idea in it a lot of time. Like when we were talking about coming back with the podcast as well, we were sitting there going, do we do it like normal or do we have a fresh rebrand? What do we do that makes it feel like it's the same sort of thing, but we're coming back with a bit of a bang, if that makes sense? Like, I mean, we're now doing video podcast where people either listen to us on the drive or they're watching us, which again, if they're watching us, they're sitting there just going, well, they're just sat there talking. But a lot of the podcasts do though. That's all they do. They just sit there and talk. But like, again, we were like that. We were talking about topics. I mean, I think I hounded you for weeks. I think I hounded you like nearly every day for the last 3-4 weeks where I was like, Ben, have you seen this? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Ben, what's this? What do you think of this? Oh, I've got this video. What do you think? Oh, can I use your song? Oh, can I do it? It was, I don't know what happened. I was like, oh, and I've also got these topics. I've got this idea. Yeah,
it was like 28 days and it was just like, okay. And I was like, no, I like it. To be honest, I don't really say much over text. I'm just like, I'm sitting there going, I'm sitting there thinking Ben's going to get me done for harassment.
Nah. But another thing, Joe, I was listening to the podcast the other day, right? And we were talking, which is actually one of my favorite episodes at the last season, which is the holiday episode. And we were talking about holidays and we're like, oh, I can't wait to go on a plane. What are we doing?
Well, we're going on holiday.
I mean, you could sound more excited. Yeah, so like, I mean,
sorry. We are going on holiday.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I was listening to it and I was like, oh yeah, we'll have to get an idea of going on holiday. And we were talking about it, but we're actually going away. Like, it's kind of happened out of nowhere. I kind of told you I was going on my own, and then you decided you were going to come and piggyback on my holiday out of nowhere and go, fuck it, Ross, you're not going on your own.
Yeah, no, it was literally like that. No, we went for breakfast, and then you were telling me, I was just like, when are you going? It was like, and then I think you saw us looking up going, why are you asking so many questions? And then I was like, so who are you flying with?
But the best one, the one that kind of gave it away was like, what's the flight number?
Yeah, what's the flight number?
What plane are you flying with? Who are you going with? What time?
Yeah.
What airport?
Yeah,
and it's like me going, you either want to watch me on that sky scanner watching a plane go across, or you're like, you want to book here.
Yeah.
And then when you told me, you were like, oh yeah, booked on. I was like, buzzing.
I literally said, leave it with me. And then I think it was 3 days later when I saw it all out, I was just like, yeah, I'm on the same flight.
Yeah.
And that was it. It wasn't like anything else.
Yeah, there was no like, Ross, can I come? Ross, right, you were like, fuck it,
I've
but I think, but it's going to be a good week. Like, I'm actually, like, I think
buzzing for it.
Well, this is the thing, because I don't know when this podcast is going to come out. It might come out next week. It might come out in a few weeks. It might come out. We might be on holiday when this comes out. Who knows? But either way, I'm excited for us to go away. I think that's the big thing of 2023. Because, I mean, it's now August. We've nearly finished this year.
Yeah.
Which is really scary to think of. Because, I mean, we're now, like I said, we're now in August. We've got, you're going to hate me for saying this. We've got 4 months till Christmas.
4 months.
4 months. 4 months. When we go away, on that Monday, on the first Monday of our holiday, it'll be 3 months till Christmas. Bang on. That's scary, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, we're going away, late September, 23rd to the 7th? Well, I'm going, I'm going away for 2 weeks. So I'm going from the 23rd to the 7th of October, and you're going for the week, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, yeah. So I'm flying back by myself.
Yeah, but he's going to have all the leg room and buzzing.
Of course, yeah. I'll be like, yes.
He'll be sitting there flying going, thank God I've gone away from him. I've had him for a week. We won't. The podcast won't ever happen.
No, it will never happen. It's just going to be one episode.
It'll be disbanded. Season 2 will be over before we even realise.
Never again.
Never again.
What happened? Well,
no.
Holiday podcast.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what that? I don't know if it'll happen, but it'd be really cool if we could record it on holiday.
No, I think we might do some like little short like videos, and we'll probably put them on the YouTube or something.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think that's the thing with season 2. We're trying new things, so bear with us in all the new aspects that we're trying, like with filming. Yes, I obviously do a lot of filming on a day-to-day basis, but at the same time, we're trying to work out setups, trying to work out lighting, we're trying to work out audio. So make sure you stick with us for teething problems.
Yes,
because there's going to be a lot of that. We might have a different background every week. Might be a case that we're in here, and then we might be in your shed.
Could be, yeah.
Or we might be in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Or in the middle of a park.
Yes.
Who knows? Who knows at this point?
And I think another thing to add to this season is that we're hoping to get some guests on as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you got a couple of people, and then hopefully maybe get J Rev on here and some other people to talk about music. Yeah,
I'll be definitely up for that. I think having guests on is going to be nice. We're also, and because I've sent you this in notes a few times because I keep forgetting I've screenshot it and sent it to you. Because I'm getting old now and I'm getting senile.
Oh, get the violin out.
I know. Get me in the care home.
Oh. No, it costs too much for that, does it?
Yeah, it's true. It costs too much, cost of living and all that. Just put me in a bin. I'll do with that. But no, we're kind of coming up with a better structure as well. We're going to kind of be a little bit more structured in what we do. Obviously today we're kind of having a bit of a catch. We're kind of talking about these things.
Yeah.
But we've also got the idea of having game shows, quizzes and stuff like that during it for each other, for our guests, true or false, stuff like that. All these different ideas we're kind of putting out and we're just going to try out and see what happens. But a lot of the stuff as well is with more structure. We're going to be talking more in depth about different topics and all that sort of stuff. Because I think with the last season, because obviously last season was, don't get me wrong, I think we did really well for the circumstances, and bearing in mind it was our first ever time doing a podcast.
Yeah, so we didn't know what we was doing.
We didn't know what we were doing. Then we had a nice run and we kind of got into it, and then we left it for 2 years, so we are a bit rusty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think trying these new things is going to just enhance this podcast and make RNB Fusion even more.
Yes, it is. It's going to. I think it's going to push it more. I mean, look what I set up today. Who thought we would be doing this?
I know. We're in 4K, so and it looks like it. Do you know what it reminds me of? The Royal Family. That's what it reminds me of. So for the people who don't know, I'm going to ruin a behind the scenes. We've got a monitor down here just to see, so then we can see if the camera goes off or if anything happens. And at the moment, it looks like the Royal Family. But it also looks like we're in a dentist waiting room.
Yeah, I'm next.
No, I am. I'm next. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for this season. I'm excited for you guys to see what's coming. Also, you know how we normally get you to email us and we say, right, email this and that. We've still got the email, which is rnbfusion@outlook.com.
Yes.
Oh, look at me. It's been 2 years and I actually remembered it.
Yeah.
But I've discovered, we kind of discovered that you can actually send voice messages to us, which we can actually include in the show. So if you want to send us a voice message, obviously make sure it's appropriate. Don't do anything stupid. Maybe a dirty joke, that's fine, but that's the limit. Don't do anything, that could potentially get us banned. If you don't like us, just write on another podcast how much you hate on us. But apart from that, no, just you can send voice messages into us, which we'll be able to include in the show. So you might even hear yourself on the show. I know for some people that's best thing ever. It's a bit like, when you're on Twitch and you pay somebody and it's a bit like, in Breaking Bad when he goes, say my name. That's what it's like.
I haven't seen that.
Have you not?
No.
So there's a bit in Breaking Bad, I think it's season 5, and there's a bit where they say, he just turns and goes, say my name. I take that back. I've seen the clip on social media, but I haven't actually seen the actual series. No, so I've only seen up to season 4 and I switched it off. I didn't get to the final season. But there's that clip, and loads of people have memed it saying when you send...
I've seen it, Yogo. I've seen that one when it remixes into that song where you say my name, say my name.
Yeah. Well, there's people have made it to a meme where people are saying, when I send a donation to my favourite Twitch streamer, and it says, say my name. Because you know how sometimes Twitch streamers this person, thank you for the donation. Have a great day or whatever.
Yeah. I've seen that one with the flamethrower. Have you seen it? It's got like I say it's a flamethrower. It's like from a production, and when someone subscribes or something like that or a donation, it sets it off, and then in the background. We'll have to find the clip and pull it in somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. If we've managed to find the clip, it's on now.
Yeah.
If not, I'm just going to put a puppy video there.
Yeah.
Why not? Because puppies are great.
I mean, this is our pods.
Well, that's the beauty. Like for those who are listening, it gives you more incentive to go and watch it.
Yeah.
But I think, like you're saying about the flamethrower. So what is it like at the top, and it's like a cartoon that sprays fire or something?
Well, no, I think it was, I saw the clip. It was just in the background of the person when he's doing the stream, and it just sets off when someone does a donation or it's a proper one. Like
what, a proper flamethrower?
Yeah, the type of thing
in his house.
Yeah. But it's like I say flamethrower. It's like off a production company, and it just shoots a flame up like when someone subscribes or donates. Yeah, because he got I'm
scared to light a candle without leaving the room.
Yeah, no, he got like 10,000 subs in like the first day or something. He did it.
That's where we're going wrong. We just need multiple flamethrowers.
I'm sure we can get that in here. Obviously, with all this flammable stuff.
Yeah, 100%. All the Funkos melted, all the collectibles burnt. I won't be able to resell them.
I was going to say, all this investment you've got. No.
I know. So there's a lot of money in here. But no, I think overall for our first pod, it's been a good catch up. I mean, it's what? Let me have a look on the old recording timer. We've hit an hour and a half. Which is this is barely going to be edited. Like, and when I say that, I don't mean like cutting out stuff like that. I mean, a lot of this is going to be pretty much what you're hearing and what you're seeing. But I think for the first pod, it's nice to get back doing it. It feels good to record again.
Yeah,
and it's nice to be in person.
Well, yeah, it'll so much better because you wouldn't believe how many problems we had on Discord. God. When we tried to connect that, it was like half an hour. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? How about now?
I can't hear you. Or you used to you'd record somebody's audio.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is their audio would drop. And then you'd suddenly have to, out of nowhere, get the bear. I can't remember what his name is. The bear, because you had a bot in the chat.
Yeah.
You had to type him in. He'd come in and record everything, use that. But then it was quite wobbly. Like if you listen to the first ever episode of RNB Fusion, that's what we used because I thought at the time it'd be a good idea. And when we interrupt each other, it's a bit like Zoom, Zoom dips the volume so another person can talk. And it kept doing that. Whereas obviously we're recording audio now. And like we did for the last few pods where it's a lot cleaner, you can hear us, but also it's not, it doesn't like warble as much. Like we're a lot cleaner and crisper. So yeah, like I said, for this season, we've got a lot in store. I don't know what episode's coming next because we've not really decided. No. We are going to, in the future, really sit down and talk about where we're going with things, what episodes can be next. And then we need to organise, like I said, with guests. We need to, if we get guests on for certain episodes, we need to work out what works for them. So then we can record that and get their audio and stuff. And then, we can really get into it because we have got some cracking topics. I know we've got a list of topics to talk about, but they're going to be good. We just don't know what order they're going to go in yet.
No, we don't. And also as well, if people want to suggest any topics, like you said through Spotify, and also comment on like this video will be out on YouTube.
Yep.
Do that, and we'll take it from there because we want to try and sculpt it into something, and if there's certain subjects people want us to talk about, we'll do that. I mean, we can talk about acting, music all day long and bore you for the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we could do a live stream. We could do that.
That's definitely something we've talked about. We've talked about doing like a live stream because we did like a test live stream with you, but we've talked about, I think we were talking about maybe we looked at like New Year's Eve, didn't we? Like doing like a live podcast, like us talking about something. But yeah, like I said, any suggestions, drop them in on the email, drop them on YouTube. Or if you want to send us the voice message through Spotify. I know that voice message, though, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, Google, or wherever else apart from Spotify, I don't think it works for you. Otherwise, if you do want to send an audio clip, this is the workaround. If you are not listening to it on Spotify and want to send us a voice message, record yourself saying it and then send it to the email.
Yeah.
Or put it on a Google Drive and then send it over to the email because then we can get it and we can edit it in. But I think I think that for today, we've rambled on enough. We've kind of caught up with ourselves.
Yes.
But like I said, I think we're setting ourselves up really, really good for the whole season. So if you want to find us out on our social medias, on the screen now, this is our Instagram page. You can also find down below our own private links. So my tag is at RossiRoo_95.
And mine is Benni Boi Music
on Instagram. And then if you want to find us elsewhere, it'll be in the links down below. But until next time, folks, I've been your fellow co-host, Ross, and this is my other co-host,
Benni Boi.
And until next time, stay safe and we'll see you soon.
Bye.